And so the show back on the road, we move this one on to Nuke. Vince, the question is, can a fresh roster from the very start of this last weekend somehow piece together enough emergency procedures on a map like Nuke to handle what Chaos will throw them? Because we know that Chaos in their group are the longest standing roster, wildly enough. And so I think that they should be well prepped and well oiled on their map choice of Nuke. But ladies and gentlemen, buckle in, because map number 2 begins.
If it begins with a bang or a whimper for ZPG after disappointingly losing their choice of map, Chaos on the T side going to be moving outside as one, a cohesive unit. The P250s at the front. Taking point is Vanity and Jonji, and it's Jonji that opens his account, gets one tapped at range. Now Infinite has so many options available to him. A very interesting tactic, and I wonder if that's by design. Running with a player turned with his back towards long, is he shielding teammates knowing that the hitbox for the head is that much harder? Because if so, that's some 300 IQ plays. I absolutely love that. Regardless though, maybe something we can ask him at a later time. Chaos post-plant 2v3 have Vanity on 33 HP with Leaf on a P250, and he's already drilled into one head, keeping his options open by closing the door. Can always spring back into action, but the bomb's not planted ideally for him, and now Vanity comes in from the other door. And Marky gonna have to try and become the doorman, but instead, Vanity sends him reeling out of the round, and Chaos take the first round of the pistol.
I thought when those 3 players jumped down ramp room that maybe the retake was gonna get going. Look at these guys, turning their backs to their opponents. That's rude, right, Vince? There's something off-putting about that. They didn't even try to shoot back. They just wanted to cross, and I understand why. That post plant down on the B site worked out wonderfully. Using both sets of doors to screw around with your opponent's attention in an even 2v2. Nasty. Off of the smoke grenades, they look to push back down vent yet again. Steel leading the charge, but the bomb's actually back in lobby. So maybe he's going to go down there and just pull out as many wires and cords as he can from the circuit board of the CT setup. All the while, the rest of his teammates wait for the glitches to unfold here on A. They try to push into the lobby, these CTs, and it doesn't pay off all too well. Sure, they deal the damage, but it's costing them lives. Cooper tries to get out through the mini smoke, but he gets shut down by Jonji, who doubles up for the final 2 frags. Chaos, the 2-0 start.
Excellent start, considering that they already have 1 foot into accelerating their schedule and getting through to the next stage of the tournament. For ZPG, this is maybe where the tournament comes to an abrupt end. So it's important on their CT side that they can get themselves into a bit of stability, a little bit of security. USPs and a Zeus comes in, and actually Marky's gonna fall to his death. Gravity owns him, but it was off the basis of Jonji's assist. He did the bulk of that damage in midair. An unfortunate banana peel that he slipped on. We weren't expecting much from ZPG in this round. They had basically nothing to their name, but it doesn't seem like they're even gonna get a kill for their troubles. A complete shutout from Chaos, pardon me. I think he said Cloud9 there. Chaos and Zelsius can't get it done. So shutout, clean sweep, 3-0.
Okay. Think of that poor reality. I mean, I don't want to die. There's a lot of ways you can go and kick the bucket, Vince, but falling to your death while being Swiss cheesed by weaponry is definitely not on the top of my list. Poor Marky. But again, one of those situations, kind of like that Inferno pistol, you just got to laugh it off. At least it didn't happen in a gun round. They come into this one with all of the M4s and the op on Cooper. I'm excited to see Cooper on Nuke. Finally, he has a map where if he's holding outer, he's going to have way more space to work with. They're not going to be able to pummel him down banana. Infinite here on the A-hold. Excellent first 2 kills. Marky from the top of hut has an additional teammate in heaven if he needs help. Vanity, 1 and done. And Leaf, well, he almost cuts the head off of the Opper, but he himself gets chopped down by Zelsius. Early on, he has found himself on the scoreboard 3 rounds deep. The first gun round from the CT side, a success story.
And important, they finally got themselves on the board for confidence, but also for economic reasons. Chaos do have to dip back in and buy. Looking to try and banish the oncoming CTs with a nade onto the doors. Molotov behind it from the counter-terrorist, though, going to keep any push in its place. But incendiaries and mollies being exchanged between the teams. One landing in main, one on top of hut. Vanity taking so much damage through that smoke. Nearly enough to finalize his position in this round as a corpse. But surviving as he does, Chaos still becoming more and more of a threat as time goes by. They did expend quite a lot there, though, Scrawny, and they didn't really make much of it, to be honest. So now they're starting to get a bit of outside control, but without a wall of smoke in place, Cooper's only put half of that wall. Now they need to wait for the second part to come in. There we go. Cooper can't see the cross. That does allow some safe passage for Jonji to get out of there.
Or rather, into there. Seems like he's going to go down secret stairs. And something lies in wait. Celsius, bottle in hand, pops the molly. Jonji's sweating. Takes a little tidbit of damage, but still almost finds the better of the timing. Celsius, he loses HP, but he picks up the kill. And Marky, oh, he has his attention turned, but still snaps the crosshair back fast enough to catch Zeppa. And these other teams, they don't know how to get him out of here. There's 3 members of Chaos out those squeaky doors, and now they start to connect kills. This is the 2 versus 5, and it's looking doable as they eject down vent to that B site. They have themselves the post plant. Can they actually close this?
Health isn't looking good for them, is it? And especially as Infinite gets the drop but doesn't get the kill. Keep in mind, both plays exceptionally low. Any bullets, and he's pretty much got an opening pick, and that should be it done. Instead, Leaf gonna hold the ground. Infinite comes through, making amends for that previous mishap. And now Vanity stood up against him. HP advantage in favor of the CT, but he's been peaked once. Vanity now has no more room for error, and Infinite's going to be mixing it up. He's playing time, Vanity. He's trying his best to bob and weave, duck and dive behind the site, but it may not be good enough. It's going to be very close on the defuse, but Infinite should have this in the bag. Oh. And Zpug Godz gonna get their second round, but again, so very close.
Nice effort there by Vanity. Infinite, though, slick movement. I mean, he was trying to anticipate some sort of a peak. There's a world where Vanity takes a second chance because he did go for it once before the position was confirmed to Infinite. But obviously on sub 20 health, he couldn't afford to take a single shot against him. I mean, Infinite jumping from that little piece next to Dark onto the railing, skates down the rail like some kind of nose slide, drops onto the bomb site, ollies over towards the deeper corner. Oh, and he had to gun him down. Sweeping through him, Celsius on the ladder, calls out Jonji. Simple-esque. In his vent hold, Cooper, more patient angle. This could afford the T's some spacing up close. Luckily for Cooper, he's got a teammate to try and hold with him. That's Marky. Only one and done. Vanity looking to join forces with the 2 players who have penetrated through hell and look maybe to get into heaven. They have options open. What's the CT setup? You've got 2 players down on the lower level. Infinite, he's in lobby. So heaven to A is absolutely tempting. And Celsius comes back, which means the retake could come in the form of a mini and lobby peak. If they pick up a kill before the plant, that would be even better. Infinite looking to maybe throw a wrench in the works. Great flash. Finds Leaf blinded. Man advantage in the hands of Chaos.
Vanity in an excellent vantage point. This another round going on a razor's edge. This tightrope could come down at any given moment for either team. They're going to meet each other in the middle. Vanity drops down, makes noise, drops onto the head of Infinite and puts him down. And now Zeppa sprays in for 2. And one of the main men of Inferno is picking up the mantle here on Nuke. Chaos take a 4-2 lead, and ZPG have no funds to bounce back.
Holy hell, Chaos keeping us on the edge of our seats. We go back to that 2 versus 5 attempt, down to the nitty-gritty. One man survives. That 2v5 is what bottomed out the bank account, so that last round nets them this. A completely broke CT side. And Steel, He goes charging down the vents, already into this lower bomb site. That's going to compromise the initial setup of ZPG. They have to try and come deal with him. Dazzle, the newest member of this team, trying to slot into a difficult map, currently 0-5. Celsius, he hears these feet move past him. He could get the timing on Zeppa, absolutely will. That's an AK to be retrieved. But still, they wait to sink their teeth into B. Steel finding the head of Infinite, but Dazzle does get one and a second. The P250's paying off. Doors closed in the face of Steel. That cuts off bomb. Cooper, he's here with his sidearm. Where is Zelsis? He is still up on that A site. He is holding the potential of a wrap back to A, but it leaks like the T's. They want their bomb. And Cooper, he is right beneath him. Steel gets the insta headshot. Dazzle now goes quiet. They chase him down. That's a third kill from Dazzle, from 0-5 to 3-5. But where is Zelsis? Steel looking for him, honing in, calls it out, almost gets the kill, but both players low, and Zelsis comes in big.
Woo! Shooting the corpse afterwards, getting under the skin of Chaos, but how in the actual hell have ZPG pulled that round out the hat? That is going to be a body punch, a gut punch from Chaos's perspective, and now you can see them at spawn, a very slow, delayed buy, unsure as to what they should do. Maybe a bit of a detox period would be required, maybe a tactical timeout just to calm their nerves a little bit. Because how do you possibly account for Zelsis coming around? He opened up the round for ZPG and he closes it too. Infinite aggression into Hut with the M4 playing up close. Maybe Chaos, though, with these 2 MAC-10s and pistols can return the favor. Maybe they can just put that knife between the ribs and twist it ever so slowly. ZPG not playing this one too aggressively, though. Sitting back and waiting, absorbing, soaking up the pressure, allowing Chaos to stew as to what just happened. And the first kill is going to go the way of the CTs. It's the bomb that spills with it. Infinite finally goes aggressively, maybe goes in one too many times. Hefty damage inflicted to Zeppa, though. He's only on 12 HP. And his teammate's just been put down alongside himself. We're all even again, 4-4.
And that pistol round, that 7th round of the game is what gives control right back to ZPG. And we had such a back and forth affair on Inferno at times. I'm happy we find ourselves here now. But if Chaos had to try and piece together the force, I mean, they didn't take a pause after that heartbreaking loss. You saw the delay coming out of the spawn this round as well, looking worse for wear. Zelsis trying to punish the pistol players here. They're at a distance, and that'll never favor them. AK should just tear through any T that tries to wrap around on Zelsis. 2 flashbangs on Steel. More than likely meant to just pop in the skies of this A bomb site. If they can plant, that's a win. Not the round, of course, but just in and of itself, that extra injection of cash. Here comes the utility. First one pops. One man goes through. Second flash actually blinds Infinite. Now he goes down. Marky, he's pinned in behind vent. That bomb's being planted, prioritized on site, and almost that money could have been theirs. But Cooper shuts it down. I like that delay. 1 flash, 1 man. 2 flash, 3 men. And you saw it take him by surprise. But regardless, it's ZPG with the victory, and that means they have the lead.
They have the lead, and they may have this half by the throat if they were to convert this round. Chaos depleting all of their money. Not a huge amount of utility either, and it's going to be aggression, or at least it seemed like Leaf was going to go straight in, but he decided better of that decision, and maybe wise, or perhaps not, because it allows Cooper to move into place and put his AWP down range and pulverizing this push as Chaos now stall. They lumber their way with a 3v5. They only have 2 smokes and a flash between them, but Vanity is making up ground downstairs, and he could be the ace up the sleeve. Zeppa, smoke out onto the site, popping the vent, baiting as if a vent dive is coming into effect. What they're trying to do here is bait the CTs down the vents to try and join in, and this is where Vanity can pounce on them. But the downside is, Scrawny, I can see what they were aiming for, but they've lost the bomb. Zeppa's life with the bomb alongside it kills any kind of play they were looking for. There is now no reason for the CTs to venture downstairs. They're fine with just staying upstairs.
Happy to hold, Vince. Happy to sit and wait because they know that 6th round about to be delivered. Go close the door, though. You're letting all the heat out. Maybe they should cool off. Tense moments on this CT side. Again, the Bug Gods, they realize that this little bout of success, this economic advantage that's kind of given them the chance to get back in the lead, it all hinges off of that ridiculous pistol round. Dazzle's 3K on that B site. Zelsis closing that one out in the 1v1 clutch. My God, did that ever give them a chance at kickstarting this CT side? The round comes to a conclusion with both Vanity and Jonji being left with nearly 0 cash. But luckily, they've still got their guns. Question being, do they try and survive again? Because Chaos would never want to buy around this, and they don't have any money. So if they die in this round, they still won't be in the greatest of places to buy in the following. It's really awkward. I think if I'm Chaos here, this is one of those rounds where even though you have little, you just milk it. Take your time. Get the utility out of the Pug Gods. Try and chip away with a couple of kills. Look at the cash here. If we just take a moment to look at the bigger picture, the Pug Gods are primed to lopside this CT side. Or at least the 5 rounds that remain of it. Jonji almost finding Cooper there in transition. He just had his head popping out of the top of the smoke. Cooper takes to the top rope. Nail him. Nope.
Safe passage down the secret stairs, but that is only a small fraction of the journey they must embark on to get to B. And Zelsis will be there to put up some roadblocks in the form of Hild, and into that grenade chunks them. Demolishes the HP bars of Chaos. The only player that's relatively untouched is Jonji, and is the AK wielder. Zelsis now caught between so many different angles of aggression, but Cooper has the overwatch from ramp with the AWP. So at least it's not going to be a clean sweep B hit. Chaos do take casualties, and with the amount of utility that is still left, this should be a fairly straightforward retake. But Dazzle has gone down to a HE from Steel, who is still somehow alive with 35 HP, pushed at the back boxes, but he is stuck behind there. It has become his tomb, and Zeppa with the Deagle has already picked up 1 headshot, and he needs 2 more to go. Plus, time itself is working against the CTs, and there's not that much of it left. He's trying his best to stall this. It's a valiant attempt, not just from Zeppa, but from Chaos collectively. But VPG have the strength to hold on, and they get rewarded with their 7th.
A team ace for that 7th round, Vince. And Dazzle, man, he's trying to push out from that ramp door, looking to give chase versus Vanity, who at first was over on the right side of ramp, and then suddenly pops over to the left of the box. Dude, that first shot from Dazzle, I think he gets like 2 bullets out of the gun before he dies. And he just takes Vanity's head straight with him. But we've got the buyback. Oh, and they catch out Marky. Steel blowing the door off of the hinges and finding an instant 5 versus 4. Cooper looks to get aggressive, combat offing into the face of adversity, calling out Steel, who thought he could go for some wall bangs for free, but it comes at a cost, his life. Meanwhile, Jonji, yet again, adventurous down the secret stairs. He has found this B site compromised more than once or twice. Zelsis, he almost got caught playing control stairs last time by a nice little head boost. Remember, the T's, they can boost on the corners of these walls to get a deeper angle. Zelsis serving as a distraction. Cooper with another close shot, but he drops the 3rd, and Vanity gets tagged, finished off by the frag. A 2 versus 3 situation with both of Chaos's players in the depths of this bomb site. There's smoke to give cover, a molly to block Dazzle off. Leaf takes damage, though. That's not going to help them at all. But again, these post-plant positions, how many before one can actually stick? The Galil spray through the side of the smoke. The Glock swap not going to work out. Leaf V2. Frag dunked down on him at an 8th round for ZPG.
Oh, you said it yourself, Scrawny, in that play-by-play, that how many times are Chaos going to be in post plants and let them slip away? They're constantly players behind because ZPG are doing a good job of thinning them out. But this isn't the first time that we've seen Cooper go aggressive into Hut. I'm curious at what point we're going to see Chaos adapt to that, because he's done it time and time again, and he's more often than not successful. So here comes the tactical timeout, gets deployed, 8-4, still can rummage a really good half out of this Chaos. It looks bleak at the moment, but they've got to feel pretty confident, all things considered. They're constantly testing ZPG. These are not simple, straightforward rounds. They are going down to the wire time after time. But Chaos, what do they mix up? We haven't really seen them play super aggressive outside and take outside control towards Heaven via Hell or Lockers. So I'm curious if that's maybe on the cards, trying to push into Garage, especially if they see Cooper going aggressive and Hutton downstairs. It means he can't be outside. And if they're leaving outside open, make the most of that.
So ready to get behind Cooper on the op. You know, I thought that it was going to be those longer ranges of engagement, Vince, that would kind of give him the edge, right? We saw him kind of getting countered out by the proximity of Inferno. But this man was playing the sniper like a shotgun. 1 kill inside Hut, a second off the cusp of Vent, nearly connecting the third. But Chaos have had no issue getting footing on this B site. It's a matter of locking down the post plan. And this time, ZPG have not yet scrambled their defense downwards. Chaos still hesitant of the possibility of players being tucked in corners and cubbies, nooks and crannies. Zelsis, oh my god, he gets burned out into the open, but he still takes one with him and does substantial damage onto Janji. That's huge. Zelsis could have just as easily whimpered back into the base of ramp and waited, but he wants to make a move. He looks to take action. And Janji, he's going to do the exact same thing. Right through the side of the fire, barely alive. And down goes Dazzle. Not much longer after. A 4 versus 2 ensues. ZPG, they've played these rounds out. They have always attempted the retakes. Let's see it on the double man disadvantage. Vanity, 1 headshot, and Marky looking for the clutch, but maybe that's too much. He could just walk away from this and nobody would be surprised. How about dealing damage with that bomb? You know the economy of Chaos is not the healthiest of states, but he's going to let this one slip. Chaos, they take the B site again, and Vince, for once, they hold on.
Exactly. And this is why they would have been feeling still confident, even though it was an 8-4 score, because they have consistently got success when it comes to breaking the site. And after that tactical timeout, I even said, one thing that Chaos haven't done yet is take outside control and try and wrap into Heaven. And you saw Cooper. I reckon the call from ZPG was they were anticipating that. Cooper played back towards Spawn, watching outside. He wasn't hurt. He didn't drop into vents early. He was outside instead. And that lack of firepower from Cooper was the difference maker. So whether that was Steel, whether that was Vanity that made the call, props. It was huge. And now ZPG, they've been looking so solid for so long, but it's been shown that they too can bleed.
Game Infinite, he tries to creep in, and Leaf, hanging on to the angle, holds him honest. Cooper looking to find the impact. Wow, the dangerous plays Cooper makes. Finding one and getting culled right back by Vanity. Counter-opper. Molly goes down to the base of ramp, but that's not going to hit the feet of Dazzle. Zelsis moves forward. Infinite got caught making a move. Cooper got caught making a move, and Zelsis gets caught making his move too. A 4v2 where Marky and Dazzle look to lock it down. They almost line up. That's perfect. He anticipates the mini peek, but Vanity's flashbangs, the MVP of this series, I swear. It's not over. Dazzle, he catches the back of 2. Now it's on to Zeppa. 15 seconds, and he's going to have that bomb plant. Dazzle What are you made of? He is wrapped back around the side of Squeaky. Zeppa, he's planting safely back behind it, but Dazzle wastes no time. And Zeppa, he could be aware of it. The flash connects, the gun goes dry. Dazzle, fresh mag, re-peeks and dies. Zeppa takes the clutch.
He might not have the vast amounts of frags that he got in the first map. He ended the first map, by the way, on 23 kills. He's only got 9, but it seems like each and every one of Zeppa's kills has been massively impactful. And what a difference that 1v1 could make come the end of this map and potentially match. 8-6 final round of the half includes a FAMAS, includes MP9 and Cooper on a glass cannon AWP. We have not seen anybody from ZPG play this position yet that Zellsis is currently occupying, with this many rounds being facilitated and propagated by squeaky plays and by secret plays. It makes sense he'd go in for this, but it's only a 1-for-1 trade. That probably won't be good enough. Cooper, though, the smoke clears just in time for him to put a bullet down range, and Marky goes for the white screen at the same time. There's Cooper again. Unreal plays from this man. He's had such a phenomenal impact on this half, and he's still alive. Or even though Steel is putting down some pain and some firepower towards his position, Cooper stays alive, being a thorn in the backside of Chaos. And of course, fittingly, he puts the final nail in the coffin for this half, and it's 9-6 to ZPG.
Together, but maybe you're not the one for me. I would give you forever, but you prefer never. I could get it together, but maybe you're not the one for me. I would give you forever, but you don't. You prefer never. Together, but maybe you're not the one for me. I would give you forever, but you prefer never. I could get it together, but maybe you're not the one for me. I would give you forever, but you don't.
So Pug, Godz, and Chaos giving us a couple of spicy meatballs to suck on, Vince. That was a hell of a first half, and I just want to get right back into the action. So let's not waste any time with the technicalities. Let's just dive into the second pistol. 3 rounds the advantage to the T side of ZPG. Oh, Leaf with a fadeaway headshot. The dual Berettas. Oh my God, it's a bloodbath on the A site. Completely shut down.
I actually love the idea of dual Berettas up on Hut because you often are going to need a ton of bullets and very fast fire rate because typically you're going to be playing up against 3 or 4 players on a rush, right? So why not? And you saw that in action. So Chaos take the second pistol, put themselves into a great position. We have a bit of flirtation at spawn as Dazzle eats a knife from one of his teammates. Never ideal, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not a full buy round. But Chaos looking good to at least get us that little bit closer on the cross. Vanity misses the first shot, misses the second. But they are going to be able to clean this one up if Zephyr just peers around the corner, as he does with the MP9, trades to his sidearm and puts everybody down in their place. Only Marky remains. It's an anti-eco. Can't get too excited about this round, but Chaos have done it. They've passed. They don't take any casualties. Best case scenario for them.
And honestly, just doing us all a favor. Let's get to the damn gun rounds, shall we? We're right there immediately. Thank you, Godz, for dying fast. Thank you for Chaos for not making a hiccup in the situation. Just moving forward, seeing what comes of it all. We've got Steel at the top of the scoreboard for Chaos, 16 frags. Cooper up there for Godz. And he has 3 teammates tied at 12, so definitely not a one-man effort to get that 1-round lead. But that's all they have. A 1-round lead. And the pistol with the following rounds after it evaporated the little bit of a edge they had over top of Chaos. They'll be right back in control if they can win this first gun round. Remember, it is versus 3 SMGs for Chaos. We've got the set piece coming through. Marky lining up nades. Smoke grenade that lands over on Heaven. Another one for Mini. So really sectioning off the vision of the defense. But Vanity, he plays around the smokes. The Hell one does not block his vision. He is doing the damage he needs to, but he's not quite catching kills until now. Dazzle's down. Oh, and he gets Zelsis up close. Swapping to the AK. This round has fallen completely flat. If it was not for the frag versus Jonji, we'd still have 5 standing. Vanity working the scout superbly. A 3K off of it. And you, again, saw the utility meant to counter him. Had he been in Hell, the locker room completely blocked off, but he was still in his spawn. And it's one thing to deal with the players at a distance, Vince, but when he had that AK in his face, he still connects the shot.
Oh yeah, Vanity has a phenomenal round, but I would also like to draw attention to his teammates in main and outside. They allowed him to keep himself at arm's reach where the scout is at its most powerful position, especially in rounds like this, by just having his back covered, by having enough impact and enough influence to force the T's to respect them from wide swinging. And this is why he just got, I think he shot 5 or 6 times at least. It was just ping, 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 and no one could deal with him. And that's because of the likes of Jonji, as you can see there coming up on the kill feed, and his teammates ahead of him here on the blue box, that is allowing him to just free open his arms and be like, cool, like, I can play this weapon where it's devastatingly strong and there is nothing you can do about it.
See if they can do something about it here with this buy. It's not the prettiest of purchases, but it's still something to work with. That AK on Infinite could be huge. Mac 10 for Zelsis. He is the leader of the pack. Just holding W all the way to the side of Vent. I feel like Leaf may know that he had just slipped by. You saw him kind of offset the crosshair, but he is going to be susceptible to this Vent peek. Tries to snap over for it. Almost finishing off the frag. Molly at the feet of the T's. They get trickled into Leaf, and he only gets 1. That's big. That's a B site open for the taking. But what's the post plant going to look like? They haven't yet assumed their positions because, again, what are the protocols for ZPG on Nuke? We know that they've been floating Vertigo across multiple series, sometimes going for the pick. But on Nuke, are they ready for these high-pressure situations? Dazzle seems so. Nice grenade onto the head of Marky, leaving him in tatters, but still standing. And a man advantage up. They have less AKs, though. Here comes Infinite. With that 1 rifle from the start, it is enough. Dazzle with the 3K, and Godz hit 10 first.
From a purely neutral perspective, Scrawny, I'm really glad to see that, because I was kind of a bit worried that ZPG coming through onto this T side would just be lacking. They wouldn't quite have that same level of impact on Chaos's choice of map. But to see them roll down the B side, get a bunch of success, potentially reset the economy of Chaos if they were to be successful again here, that definitely makes it, from a neutral's viewpoint, that little bit more enticing. Tactical timeout, they know Chaos are going to go in for a force. Need to figure out what they want to do about that. Full AK-47s, very mobile approach. Options entirely open for them with a healthy dosage of grenades. Do we see something fast? Are they going to slow things down? Only time will tell. Let's find out.
In hindsight, I'm sure that Leaf would have much rather take a more forward angle, because if he had a chance to kill Zelsis before he could get into the vent, then he wouldn't have just been throwing a Molotov at the feet of 4 players, but rather maybe cutting off the numbers. Remember, they didn't have the best of guns, but they overwhelmed him by getting that close. And once they had his AK, Dazzle just goes to work. We're right back into it. Infinite 1 health. You better back up. Those fires looking menacing. And Molotovs have not been his friend today. Here comes Vanity, well-timed peek, finding Dazzle as he attempts to cross the wall of smokes, and that was the only player to do so. Steel, he swoops right into 2 and swaps out to the AK, looking to even go further, which he will. A complete and total shutdown of that late lobby hit.
Oh, the timing there, though. There's a couple of moments I kind of feel bad for ZPG. Infinite gets wrecked through smoke. It's a fairly common pre-fire angle, but then Vanity's timing on that peak was perfect. Then Steel drops down just as the T's push through the door. Through the smoke, they never stood a chance. And ZPG at least will have some AKs. They have a Galil to play with. They're trying to go outside. Smoke's coming down, but there's a huge gap in that smoke. A good flashbang put into place, though, and that saves Dazzle's life. But only for a second, because Steel again making plays from the top of Hut, drops down, and with thunderous damage, puts 2 players out of their misery. Incendiary into the Hut, keeping them at bay. They can't counteract with Frank, and they're forced into a ramp push, but that's into the MP9 that gets 1. Vital information's been gathered, and he did see the bomb drop down, so Leaf will be calling that a B-site hit is very much a possibility.
Cooper and Marky, long-standing teammates, looking to synergize. Need a little bit more arm on that one, Marky. Molly misses the mark. 1 versus 2. That second CT is starting to come down behind him, though. Marky, he's going to have to hit a zinger of a headshot right here, or even body shot. Feels so low, but Zeppa wastes no time to swing out for the trade frag. Nicely done from both teams, I'd say, giving us a good mid-round moment, Vince. They recognized that ramp room was probably open for a push, and they were absolutely correct in doing so. Leaf, 1 kill with the MP9, but the information that allowed Chaos to go down to that B site and just trade frag to the very, very end. But 1 survivor is all that makes the difference there for Chaos to take the lead. And 1 round is all they'll have in terms of said lead. We have seen the Pub Gods make magic happen with these sorts of buys, so do not write them off. But Steel is a madman when it comes to the squeaky door, just absolutely flexing on his opponents. And Jonji, well, now he knows that they are close, so he goes for the multi-frag, and Celsius ends that one, picking up an M4 and looking to join his 2 teammates down here towards B.
Dazzle scurrying around in the vents. Cooper down in control. Knocks the windows out. Gonna let them know all the information they can ask for. But up on top of the silo is Lee. Not quite getting fragged just yet, but now he's about to get pinted. He at least gets 1 kill before he drops down. That's not terrible news for Chaos. It keeps ZPG in an awkward position, but now Vanity gets tagged down, and Cooper frags Steel, who right now is on 23 kills. So the talisman has been sent 6 foot under, leaving Zappa in another conspicuous angle to land the 1 frag and tag Cooper on 9. And the next bullet may very well finish this round, and Vanity's missed, but doesn't miss twice. Cooper gets headshot. Chaos survive again. I feel like that's 3 or 4 1v1 clutches they've won now, Connor. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Cooper, I am so sorry He hit Vanity there, Vince. Did you see that blood? Vanity goes for the peak. We know how much health both of those players had. Vanity goes from something like 16 to 4. The MP9 hit him, but the damage drop-off at that range robbed Cooper of a clutch in a round that they had no business winning. What a stark reminder to Chaos to not let their guard down. Steel with the noob tube. He's gonna get real close. Remember, Cooper caught him with an op in this position. It was Steel as the T in lobby going for the wall bangs that lost his head. And he's looking to turn it back the other way. Vanity, he's burned out of the secret stairs. An early peak he's had an affinity for. Now they're looking to size up this A site. It's going to be a big split. Don't forget about Steel. He is still inside of Hut. Jonji, how does he see a thing? Inside of the smoke, catching Dazzle. That's the 5v4, and he sticks around in the exact same position. Celsius almost falling victim to the exact same play, but he remains, for now, 12 health. And Cooper, with eyes lurking near the heavens, sees exactly what he needs. An opening back for the T side. Zapug Godz with a man advantage, but limited health. And will Steel, he's about to clear out ramp. It's called out by Infinite, predicted and punched back. 4 versus 2.
Oh, Zeppa's timing still somehow gets that frag, but the timing I thought was just going to be the difference maker. And now Vanity has decisions, and he has decided he's not interested in going for this clutch. Instead, he's going to be going back and saving the AWP, which for me is the correct decision. ZPG now breathing down the necks of Chaos. They are unrelenting. Some teams better at chasing than necessarily leading. And it seems that ZPG have a few more twists and turns yet to be written in this very entertaining story between Chaos and ZPG in our elimination match. Of course, Chaos did win the first map, and ZPG have the pressure applied to them. Bomb about to detonate, and it seems these 4 players will all live to fight another day.
Man, I'm so stoked that this Nuke map's delivering. I really did feel like there may have been a chance where, you know, the gas of the tank ran out on Inferno. But I will very quickly put that behind us. We have a very real chance. That's the Pug Gods tying this one up. Just the pistols and that one op for Vanity. If he wants to be the one-man army, then let's see it. But at the same time, his life would be valuable if he can manage to walk away with it yet again. Chaos. What can they do with just pistols? Jonji's moving his Deagle into secret fast enough to maybe catch a man outdoors. Nobody's close to stop him, but it's a tough shot. A very tough shot. Ooh, and bullets go zinging by him. Now there's going to be a set of eyes dedicated to his repeak, so he can't go for it. And I think he recognizes that and falling back from B. There's a perfect flash. Oh, that's sick. Vanity's flashbangs are worth their weight in gold. Steel robbing a kill and just sneaking back into the A site. Now we're 5v4 and Dazzle, well, he's going to find a back turn. There's the op in Vanity. Dropped. Zeppa also removed. They already know that Steel was near here, and he's looking for second servings. He finds the best of the timing and even gets back safely to the bomb site itself. Jonji comes out from secret, goes down. Dazzle making a world of difference this round. He hits the timing perfectly. An excellent 3K there in the anti-eco.
This is an awkward spot economically. I wonder if we'll get another tactical timeout. But yeah, as you say, Dazzle putting 2 so important kills down, because those were the AWP carriers. You know, he first got the kill into Vanity. AWP gets dropped, I think, to Zeppa. Make sure that neither of them can pick that up and neutralizes it. Chaos decide not to go for the tactical timeout, and instead of going for any kind of pretty costly half bite, they're actually going to sit back and say, right, cool, fair enough, we'll give you this round. We'll put in a good effort, mind you, with a Mag 7 and a HE and some upgraded pistols, but by and large, we're not expecting to get too much out of this. Dazzle, aggression, gets one, they may line up, and there's the second frag forthcoming for him. He'll be happy with that. Now he can rest back and let the rest of his team make moves onto the site. They're not going to check into the hut, but that spray transfer from Marquis is lovely. It's an anti-eco, but it doesn't matter. That was some real slick aim.
Hell yeah, it was. He does a Dazzle. Goes for that continuation spray down. Wabang! Sit down, Zeppa. Dazzle, better safe than sorry. I like that he also empties the mag down in secret, because for all he knows, there's 5 players there ready to run over top of him. It's Marky with the trio, Dazzle with the double. Godz with the lead. Chaos with the buy. Maybe that's exactly what they need. Op-outer. Lackluster nades apparent here for the CTs. 3 smokes, 1 molly, triple flashbangs. Minute and a half. And they have to put down some sort of a counter utility in the face of these incendiaries just in case the execution was about to come in. But it was just the pump fake. They wait, the T side, hanging out in lobby.
Intriguing that we're not really seeing much action from ZPG across the map. It's fairly centralized. It's just Dazzle that's watching outside currently with his AK. And there have been a couple of scurrying plays out here in rounds gone by, which may be on the back of his mind. Smoke down onto the squeaky door. And again, Steel up on Hut. 3 players on A site, but Vanity decides to drop down and join the rest of his team. This means that they're not going to have much control when it comes to peeking outside. So if CPG do decide to go for this wall of smoke and push down, there's no one going to be there to stop them. That being said, though, 25 seconds left on the clock. ZPG are putting themselves in a very awkward position, and now the nade's going to start to fire in. Zeppa goes unchecked. 2 kills come towards him as he slices and dices the oncoming terrorists into a shish kebab, and it's 13 apiece. Too easy for Chaos in the end, and ZPG's indecision costs them dearly.
Didn't even look flustered, Vince. But I think the reality of the situation is, what is a guy like Zeppa even going to do if they decide to go down B? Again, that wall of smoke's basically a fake, but it's not like Zeppa had an open avenue. The squeaky door is open. He has to commit to the corner until things are confirmed. And we saw those Molotovs from ZPG burn out in the first 30 seconds. Oh, Dazzle. He walks right into the op of Vanity, but they waste no time trying to challenge. Squeaky door instead. Steel empty-handed after just the first. Zelsis with the double kill. That's the big one. And he still has half his health. Cooper, the timing. He swaps to the grenade. It almost costs him. Zelsis puts out the fire, but the heat's still there because Jonji sprays him down and he jets through the vents. Minute 15. Godz have no bomb. They're outnumbered, but they still have utility. And my God, is this round important, so they better use everything they have. And the one thing that they know is theirs to play is time.
Well, they'll have that previous round in the back of their mind, Scrawny, thinking, God, we let time beat us. Let's be honest, time beats us all. They were hoping it would be later rather than now. Cooper making moves out with his teammate, his partner in crime. Grenades being tossed in. 40 seconds. Much more advanced positioning than last round, but now the CT's moving into the right spots to fend off this post plant. Out through the smoke they come. Cooper lands a blinder in midair, but it doesn't really matter. Chaos still get the clutch. And the 14-13 lead. With that bomb plant, another buy can come up for ZPG, but they are running out of lifelines.
Damn, Chaos, no respect. They just fly out of the heavens, Vince. Cooper hits the shot on the guy midair. But it's just too much to handle. They flexed the man advantage. They wasted no time getting that player also around the back of Silo. 2 out from heaven, 1 dropping. I mean, and when somebody's falling onto your face, how do you not have your crosshair magnetized to him? You saw that. Both of the T's in the post plant dealing with the player who fell down as opposed to the guy who actually has accuracy above. And then obviously they didn't know where that third one was at, but just a great pinch. A great retake attempt where they wasted no time. I said Godz had time to play, and they did. But the moment that bomb went down, it was Chaos to cheat the clock. And I am so happy that both teams have guns here in the 28th round. Early utility from both sides. Steel has been the man of the hour in terms of squeaky control. He is shooting for the 30 bomb in regulation. Infinite, closely committed to the corner of Squeaky Door. And we have Godz now rocking bomb outside. You talked about how Dazzle has so often been on his own here. Well, Vanity just peeked into 2. His incendiary doesn't hit the way he wants, but still he's posted up. His teammates seeing the pressure go through the wall of smokes, now realizing maybe Secret's not what needs to be compromised or not what needs to be held, but rather hell and heaven. And it's only Leaf to try and keep players at bay from both. He calls out this position from Dazzle. The peak will be nullified, you'd think. They need to time it. Zelsis, he just gets the instant kill. And there's a molly to be dropped down on Hut. Look at these players on A site squirm. They have nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Completely cleared by Zelsis.
And now hide and run is the prime objective for Chaos, just to save these 2 weapons, to be able to afford something in the next round. Jonji at least staying up close enough that if some shenanigans take shape, maybe he can go in for a ninja, but I seriously doubt he'd even go for it at this point. You want to hold on to this AK. And see that they're going for these wall bangs through the vents. Is he actually coming up? No way, Jonji, no way! He's actually going for it. Molotov towards heaven. He's going to stick the bomb. There's going to be enough time for this defuse, but is anyone coming up right now? Oh my God! Jonji, you beauty!
Let that defuse reverberate through your soul. Jonji, you absolute madman. He sticks around just long enough, catching the kill inside of... Look at this. Instantly after the defuse, he dies. And a timeout taken. That right there, that's what Counter-Strike is made of.
Ooh, right,
both timeouts.
I'm sure Chaos have as well. Jesus Christ. What do you say to ZPG after that? That was their chance, Scrawny. It would have been 14-14. Ow. Oh, no. Just the extra boot in the ribs. Chaos call a tactical timeout. They're like, you know what? Why don't you have a ponder on this, boys?
Yeah.
You just think about this for another couple minutes.
They used 2 timeouts, Vince.
The double whammy.
Oh, boy. Look, they bounced back yesterday after throwing that 15-3 lead, whatever it may have been. You have to soul search to bounce back from that. You need a spiritual retreat. Need some ayahuasca, and who knows what's else. You gotta talk to the spirit gods, Vince, to find a solution to that. A round like that is enough to break a man. Is it enough to break 5 men? The Pug God's 2 rounds away from overtime. Vanity, he gets pushed back off of the secret stairs. But no matter what we say, you know it's tainted by the outcome of that last round. You can still feel the weight of that defuse on the server right now, and they're just gonna crawl towards Vanity. Can he shut it down? He can't even tuck. Dazzle looking to do the damage. Steel swoops in for 1, but he gets caught by the squeaky player. Then Jonji trades that one. It's a 3v3 nonetheless, but Vince, it's a health advantage for the T's in the post plant.
Yeah, they have that slight health advantage, don't they? But again, this is where they've got to clear their minds. They know they let the last round slip. Zelsis is taking significant damage from that grenade, but can they follow it up? Still on the staircase, not being deterred, not falling back, but holding the line with Cooper. 2 massive kills. And Chaos are not going to finish this match just yet. ZPG will survive at least 1 more round. And overtime, considering the economy of Chaos is in the slums, is looking very possible right about now.
at least that round right there kind of undoes the damage of that defuse. Not entirely, but let this serve as the reminder that the game goes on. If they lose right off of the back of it, that's all we talk about. 29th round would not have mattered because the match was over and we all would have known that it ended with that stick by John G. But the Pug Gods show us they can bounce back, at least with one more round. Can they take it to OT? When you look at the buy that Chaos have to offer, you can't help but feel like maybe this is the gift that keeps on giving. Tees will be in a better position coming into this 30th round, but we have seen Chaos with some very real shenanigans. Steel has been a nuisance on Hut. He has found great timings in terms of playing lobby. Don't forget about the vanity flashbangs that have set him up. If they try to crunch into the Pug Gods, they could definitely mitigate the lesser weaponry. But those AKs should shred at the distance of outdoors. Let's see where they take them, Vince. Round 30 coming at you hot.
Could be the final round if Chaos can make this mixed bag of fortune somehow pay out for them. It's not looking good with John G being obliterated down to 16 HP and Steel taking some damage too, but not for the first time. That XM going to be moving into lobby. Look how passive ZPG are though. They have one player in this squeaky area which is infinite. Steel now spots him, drops him. That's an AK that can get picked up instead. And lobby control's underway. This also gives vital information across the Chaos. They can move accordingly. They can start to stack downstairs and outside. This is getting worrisome now for ZPG.
But do they need to stack downstairs? It looks like ZPG have another route in mind. Don't forget Vanity. He has one of the lesser weapons of everybody in this round, and he is so safely tucked behind the CT boxes that he is about to have a player walk across him. There's something going down in CT spawn. Vanity, he climbs up to the top of the heavens. Zeppa, oh, he lines up too. The ump pays off in dividends. Cooper and Dazzle, they're trying to get their way back into the A site. Cooper with his head on a swivel, looking to be the MVP of Nuke. Dazzle clears out heaven, but here comes Leaf. 6 HP, it's not enough. ZPG will take us to overtime. Oh, baby.
It had to happen. The way this game was coming down, you knew overtime was a likelihood, but there were chances. Leaf at the end, you could see that he kind of stopped shooting because he assumed that player behind the box was dead. He wanted to free himself up for that second adversary. But in doing so, he had to take a double step. And then that player from heaven just gets the wide swing comfortable kill. So all even at 15 apiece. Chaos hanging just about in this match. Or ZPG, I suppose I should say. Although you could also argue Chaos, because had that of John G 2v5 Ninja Defuse not have gone their way, actually ZPG would have won this map already.
Hell yeah.
So it's been a real wild one.
This is such a sick game of Counter-Strike. This is the fireworks that these players provide. I am grateful that Valorant did not gobble up these players, Vince. They thought about it, and they knew what was right. They came back to play. Vanity is going to be tucked back in CT. Last round, he had that pistol. These are the kinds of plays he would have liked to make, but what a zinger from Dazzle, even calling out Jonji on the side of that smoke. Not the first time he's been falling there, but Zeppa, oh, another massive spray down, and they're all dead. Chaos, a 16th round out of nowhere. Blink and you will miss it. Zeppa, 4 frags in the round, culling off Dazzle, who kickstarted it all, and all 3 squeaky players killed by Zeppa.
Unbelievable. That was a 3v5 and then a 2v4 into a triple spray 4K for Zeppa. Another huge round for the NA start. And now ZPG in a position that they didn't expect to be in after the start of that last round. Looking pretty damn good. And you mentioned about Valorant and players kind of dipping across to there. One of the positives is it does give more opportunities around to those that have stuck around in CS. So you might see some of these players maybe get that opportunity that otherwise they wouldn't have. So Chaos now holding downstairs with Vanity's AWP, just using the tight angle. The idea is to shoot your shot and then fall back into a safer position. Misses the shot, wasn't too far off. And now they don't necessarily want to push through here, or maybe they do. How has Vanity missed the second one as well? It could have been 2 kills, but instead all 5 players from ZPG are funneling downstairs and putting a cat amongst the pigeons. The only player left is Infinite and Squeaky, but Steel once again holds the line. Vanity peeked again. This time he doesn't miss, and Leaf gets a double spray. What the hell? Through wall, through smoke. Didn't see that, but it must have been sick. And now Marky, last player left, 1 versus 4. Does have the bomb. Again, planting with 16k, not that important.
Go away.
Exactly. Take the risk.
Bro, just run. Get out of here. The longer he waits, the closer they get. He doubles back in and hits the head of Jonji. The A play still open. But no, now at this point, Steel, he's gone up there to try and cut it off, I'm certain. So there's the 2 players down on B side. If Marky wants to make this play happen, he has like 5 seconds to spare. And it's nothing but despair because Zeppa catches the headshot. Zeppa, how are you killing players through smoke like that? I need a highlight, please. I just don't get it. Oh, Leaf, excuse me. Leaf, excuse me. Smoke pops, and he just goes for the spray down, knowing that they would have used that to jump out. So in hindsight, the kill feed makes it look ridiculous. In reality, it's just an excellent read. They didn't wait long enough for the spray to stop, and they almost just shoot themselves in the head. A 17th round for Chaos. If they can clean sweep this CT side, I don't know, man. Map advantage, 3 match points, elimination on the line. The Pug Gods have given us a hell of a run. Chaos, by the skin of their teeth, have kept themselves in this. 1 more shot at a T-side round before they swap to the defense.
Painting has been painted beautifully. And Zolcis has his blood splattered against the wall, courtesy of Vanity. Doesn't miss any shots this round. First one was all he required. And he takes the advantage and puts it firmly in the pocket of Chaos. With AK-47s and a couple of M4s in play additionally, it's going to be a difficult ask for ZPG to brute force their way through ramp with Leaf just sat here waiting. Flashbang tossed in. Affects him more so than any of the T's who weren't quite in ramp just yet. They were more trophy room. But it does appear that they are going to bypass this position and look to hit A later on. Steel, who has typically been positioned on top of Hut and sometimes next to Squeaky, actually falls back onto Silos instead. Maybe anticipating this play could be coming in. Takes a bit of damage, but it's all a ruse. It's all a bait and switch. And Jonji now dips in for 2 and headshots the final player. And Chaos going to get that clean sweep. 3 match points.
You tell me, Vince. I just want your honest opinion. What hurts more? That defuse through Jonji, where you know you have to push it to OT, or getting 0-3 swept on your T side once you get there?
I think they're both probably even, man, because they'll be feeling defeat either way. You know, that's how, or defeated, I should say. Either way, like they've kind of played themselves, you know. And now Chaos, they don't want to sit around and wait to see what the CTs do. They want to dictate the pace of this round, and they are not slowing down for anybody. But this position from Dazzle, look how much damage he's done. But he's only got 1 kill to his name.
Infinite's going to take a position next to these Molotovs. I think that because Chaos have the margin of error, because they just need 1, they can take those high-octane risks out the gate. They run rampant down the ramp room into Dazzle, who did so much damage. Cooper, crucial op shot. There's Marky with a kill. It is all on Jonji. Unarguably one of the reasons they have gotten this far. And oh, the door's closed behind him. He swings them open. They both line up. Jonji gets the 2. A 3rd kill will seal the deal. Oh, and Marky, he's going to stick this. Jonji's got to hit it. It's wild. And oh, he stops it. Chaos take the game.
Oh man, I was gonna think that it was just karma, right? It was Jonji that got that ninja defuse, and I thought Marky was gonna do the same to him. but didn't happen. Chaos take it 2-0. Scrawny, we have been so blessed with how many great games we've got to commentate, man. And that was another banger.
Wow. Wow. There's nothing more you can say. Jonji, man of the match. Ridiculous moves on Nuke and an excellent showing from two teams that may have not been here in other circumstances. We had teams drop out of this event, and I am very happy with the replacements. That was an awesome match, a very real treat, and I tip my hat to each of the players who were in that server, Vince, because Counter-Strike is lucky to have them. Reset, boys. Farewell, ZPG, and best of luck to Chaos. After the break, our analysts will unpack all of that chaos.
It was an elimination game to close out today, which unfortunately sees ZPG fall to the curb in a 0-2 loss. Commiserations to the North American side, but for Chaos, they live to fight another day after a solid 19-15 scoreline. That wraps up our deciding matches for Group A NA, but Christine, what a way to be closing out the proceedings for the day.
Oh my God, this match had it all. I literally, in real life, screamed and yelled multiple different times in this match. We had a ninja defuse in 2020. We had a multi-kill after multi-kill. Zeppa absolutely stepped up when it mattered most. The way he peaked, the timings that he found for himself. I mean, this was Chaos being able to barely win, but they made it look good still.
They really did, and I also want to pick up on Steel there. 32 kills to close it out, and the aggression that he was having towards that squeaky area on that CT side, Maui, that was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Steel locked it down, just like we saw Config lock it down against OG earlier today in the EU side of things. Steel was that same guy, just so consistent on that upper bomb site. Really didn't hurt, though, that he was supported by Zeppa, who was a beast over there towards Mini.
He really was. It was incredible to see so many players from that Chaos. Oh my God, something just fell off my wall. It got so hyped in here, my photo just fell off my wall. I can't believe that actually got caught.
It was Jonji.
Sorry about that. You know what? It was
Jonji strikes again.
He's next door to us. He's pushing my photos down. But I think we actually have an opportunity to speak to one of the players from the Chaos side. And it's, of course, gonna be Steel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. First of all, can I just get the team's reactions from that Jonji clutch in the last round? And, of course, that ninja defuse from him.
Yeah, sure. The ninja defuse was basically he was in the vents and everyone was like chasing Vanity, and I'm just like, wait, John, are you ninjaing? He's like, do you want me to? I'm like, yeah. He goes to the vents, sees Cooper with like a nade out or a knife out or something, kills him, gets it. Yeah, we had to take a double tack, I think, because Vanity's heart rate was 200 beats per minute, so.
It was absolutely stunning. I can't believe you guys managed to get away with that. And I also just wanted to get the feeling of ZPG coming into Nuke, because it's a map that, you know, we were discussing beforehand. They don't often play. Were you kind of surprised that they managed to take it so close?
We're talking about the Inferno, right?
Nuke.
Nuke? Yeah, I mean, Nuke's normally one of our better maps, but there's something happening in like the first, I guess, quarter of every game, or like first, I guess, half, where it's like, we normally play it a certain way, but for some reason, we just like got in our heads that we're like, oh, they know what we're gonna do, so let's just change things up, or let's not do it, because they're gonna expect it. And it's like, why? So after we kind of got over that hurdle, I think the round started coming together a little bit better, but there was still the issue of like, when we did win a round, it wasn't like super clean, so that our money was always low, and then eventually we'd have to do like an eco or a double eco. And that's part of the reason why the round score was so close, is because like the rounds that we did lose were kind of bad.
All right, I had a question about ZPG and your opinion on them. Were there any individuals, or maybe even their playstyle, did any of it stand out to you today? Did they surprise you?
they didn't really surprise me. Honestly, like, they're kind of washed up and has-beens. So they did a lot of like, they had a lot of like group pack type of explosive hits, and those players have like good aim. So if they're able to get into position because we give them too much respect, then that style is really strong. And part of the reason why it was so strong was because, like I said, with like when we won our rounds, we won with like 2 people alive, and then we bought the next round, we lost a round, and we force bought the next. We didn't have an op for a really long time. And when you do like a bunch of people grouped up in a pack with AKs that can one shot a CT, whereas an M4 can't one shot a T, and you don't have an op on CT side to lock that down, then it's really difficult to stop that style of play. Even if you know what's coming, it's just like, what are you supposed to do about it?
Steel, it seems like every time we speak, there's some sort of hurdle that you and Chaos are trying to get over, whether it be ringers, whether it be team cohesion, a new team. This time around, I just found out that it's Jonji with crazy ping and lagging. I mean, is there anything that you guys had to change up or do in particular to compensate for his lag? Is this something you guys are dealing with on a daily basis? And is there a fix for it in the future?
It's a daily issue for him. He pings well to Chicago servers because of his location in Canada, but to like Denver and Dallas servers, which is like primarily, like Dallas is primarily what most pro teams play on, if not like Denver. And he's just like screwed basically just because of his location and his ISP and everything with routing, higher ping, lag spikes, packet loss. So it's an everyday thing that he's kind of like used to. So anytime he has a chance, an opportunity to play on Chicago servers, he's like, yeah, I got Chicago, I'm gonna like kill everyone. But then if it's like on the other servers, he just like, he doesn't really talk about it. Like we see him like warping around, you'll see him like, he'll hold mouse 1, so he'll be like shooting his gun full automatic spray, and you'll be watching and it'll be like, you'll see that he's shooting like smoothly, consistently, and then it'll like freeze, and then it'll like shoot like it's a PowerPoint slideshow or something. And you're like, this doesn't look right.
Well, going forward for you guys, obviously you played against Liquid and now you played against CPG. What are your kind of thoughts going forward for the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, I think we're just going to focus on playing, I guess we're going to play against Furia in the semifinals. And I mean, they dropped the map to Team 1 today. There's like, they're beatable. We just need to make sure that we're playing better than we were today, better than we were playing against Liquid yesterday, and playing better against like New England Whalers that we played another event recently this week. I think that the chances of us not, more than one of us not being on at any given time is like low, and we just had like kind of a week of it in a row. So I'm hoping that we kind of shake that off by the time we play Furia, because honestly, if we have like at least 4 people all kind of like hitting their strides, I think that we could be a really good team with a high ceiling.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what you guys are going to be bringing to that match. Thank you so much, Phil, once again for joining us, and massive congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome to speak to the man of the hour. But I do like that, we were talking a little bit about ZPG, and they did make it really close, Still was alluding to it there. I kind of wanted to ask you, Maui, we were talking about it beforehand. You weren't really expecting too much of ZPG going into Nuke. Were there any kind of pleasant surprises for you from their side?
Yeah, actually on their CT side, I felt like the misdirection that Chaos was throwing out would have been sufficient to get down into that lower bomb site, but it felt like every time Chaos actually tried going down to B on Nuke, ZPG had maybe 2, even sometimes 3 people there. They were just in the right spots at the right time, and that's not something you would expect from a puggy team that doesn't have good comms or something like that. They actually looked like they were pretty much on the same page for the most part.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they're going to be bringing going forward. Of course, they're not going to be here at DreamHack Open Summer anymore, but you know what? We may see them at some other tournaments in the future. But I think that brings us to the time of the day, which is our top 5 plays of the day. So let's count them down. And we're going to be starting off with our number 5, aren't we, Chris?
Yes, and with play number 5, it's none other than Art getting run boosted, getting a quick shot to find that entry, and of course, he's going to keep pushing the issue. We saw him starting off the round at Ivy. We see him ending the round all the way towards upper inner, and this was just kind of the storyline for Art. This is his identity, and he does it well.
And it's Malps coming up at number 4 next, isn't it, Maui?
Yeah, this was, if you have only tuned in for the most recent series, you would have missed another ninja defuse of sorts. Malb I mean, he had to fight his way into this bomb site, but those were two excellent shots. Vinny was towards middle, and Mobs, he had a kid in a smoke, was able to just get onto that bomb and find the round win.
It was spectacular indeed. And Poison, he was the man of the hour over on the complexity side. Potter, what's going on here?
Well, this is Poison doing what we saw him doing constantly on especially Nuke. I mean, his AWP work, not only was he just controlling all of the outside yard on the CT side, he was clutching and converting rounds on the T side.
John G, not only responsible for knocking down my picture frame, but responsible for this beautiful 3K, wasn't he, Mary?
Yeah, this was to close the entire series out. John G with the 3K spray down into the smoke, preventing the defuse at the end.
And then again, at number one, Potter.
Play number one. You know, we had some debate back and forth whether this play should be the number one play of the day. And we decided, you know what? It's 2020. We hardly ever see Ninja Diffuses anymore, especially with 4 defenders or post-plant defenders alive. But Janji, he made it work and he put on an absolute show today.
He really did. I'm so looking forward to seeing what he brings for the rest of the competition. And of course, it's time to crown our player of the day. And Maui, you know what? You can take this one away because I think it's your time to shine.
Yeah, we got to give it to Janji. I mean, some of the stats for some of the other players today were higher, but Janji's impact in clutch rounds, like the 2 we just highlighted, were too much for us to overlook. ADR is on 80. I mean, it's a little bit higher than his team's average, but 14 entry kills on Inferno. He was 11-1 on those entries. That is absolutely insane. But you got to give it to his team. You got to give it to their game plan. He was just following the strats, but man, those clutches, there's no game planning around that.
Yeah, there's really not. There's some beautiful moments from him there too. And I think, we were talking about it before we came on air, but there's also Zeppa as well. He was a huge player for the Chaos side. And I think he's going to be instrumental going forward as well, Christine.
For sure. I mean, just his decision making. I mean, all you can see when you watch Zeppa is his aim because it's so crisp. But it's really a lot of the decision making and when he chooses to take those duels that's allowing him to get so many multi-kills. So I'm excited to see how Zeppa develops further on into the tournament.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of them going forward. But with today's games wrapped us up, that gives us the opportunity to take a look at our bracket and see exactly where that leaves us. This is EU Group A coming your way. And tomorrow, we will be seeing Endpoint versus Heroic in that decider matchup. The winner will be progressing onto the semifinals and the loser going home. Christine, what are you making of this one?
Oh boy, Endpoint Heroic, I'm ready for it. I said I have high hopes for Endpoint. I think they absolutely impressed. And Heroic, they've been on the up and up. God Hunden is in that project, so that should be a banger series.
Exactly. I might need to get my UK flags out for that one to be representing my boys from Endpoint. But of course, we've got Fours versus OG coming up as our second matchup of the day. This is going to be an interesting one, Mario, because, we've seen both of these teams really rising up recently.
Yeah, 4s are really going to be testing OG. OG, a little bit of a hiccup today against Complexity. Slow start. They're going to need to be coming out a little bit hotter if they want to stop the Russians in their tracks.
And then moving over to the NA side of things, we can take a look at Group A and see exactly what's going to be playing out. What we've seen it play out today. We've actually been wrapping up the Group A action. So it's Liquid and Chaos going into the semifinals, obviously facing up against the players from the opposite groups. But Christine, looking at this group, is this how you expected it to play out?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty cut and dry, this group. As Mao mentioned, Chaos, they've been a squad for quite some time. The only team in this group with the full 5 roster starting off. And Liquid, it's Liquid. Look at the players on that lineup. So certainly, I think this group is shaping up as expected.
Yeah, Liquid doing Liquid things indeed. And of course, this leaves us with our final matchup for tomorrow. It is Cloud9 versus Team 1. And Maui, this is a rematch. So I feel like both these teams, they are going to be going toe-to-toe to be avoiding elimination.
Yeah, for sure. Cloud9, this is a pressure game for them. It's one that they are supposed to win, but since they've already lost to Team 1, that's just kind of looming over their head already. If they don't make it to playoffs, you heard Floppy in that first day. I mean, he thought that this was pretty much a sure thing that they were going to be making playoffs. If they don't make it, I don't know what this Cloud9 team's going to do.
Yeah, and of course, tomorrow we're going to be presenting those 3 decider matchups. It's going to be such a crucial day of games for all of these teams. 3 of them will be progressing through and 3 of them will be going home. So you don't want to miss out on any of the action. But I think all that is left to say is a huge shout out to our sponsors. Thank you so much, Monster Energy, Corsair, and Intel, for joining us for the duration of the day. It's been a fabulous day here at DreamHack Open Summer, and we have got so much more action coming your way tomorrow. We'll be back here at 1 p.m. CEST to be kicking off our EU division, and then of course moving over to NA in the afternoon. Thank you so much, Maui and Posse, for joining me for this final segment of the evening. I'll be seeing you both later on this week. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow.